BBC Three Counties Radio, it's Marshmallow and Bastille and Happier. Now, I'm quite proud sometimes of the guests that we have because obviously, if you're on during the day, they've got a bit more clout than me and Kimbers, haven't they? Some of the daytime shows, Kimbers, they've got a bit more clout than us, haven't they?
Yeah, only a little bit though.
Only a little bit. Yeah. But the thing that we do here is we kind of discover things that are going on that maybe the big boys have missed, right? Mm-hmm. And I think the group For Men to Talk was one of those moments. I think we had a real moment. Now, the founder of that group is Luke Newman. And Luke decided that men should have a place where they could just talk to each other because they didn't. So whether it's just, and it was basically around exercise, just walking, so that you could go and walk and talk. And we featured Luke, didn't we, on here?
Yes.
And then he came on a couple more times. And I know there are some people listening that went and joined Luke's group. And this makes me so happy because last week we had our Make a Difference Awards, or the week before. So the BBC Make a Difference Awards 2 weeks ago, we had them, and Luke won it. He won an award, and that was independently judged. We didn't judge that, but I was sitting in the audience going, come on, let it be Luke, let it be Luke, let it be Luke, let it be Luke. I got really excited. So I'm really pleased. One of the people that joined the group is Julian, but I'm also really pleased because Luke's here as well. Hello, gentlemen.
Good evening.
That surprised you, didn't it, Jules?
Just a tad.
Look, I'm like Cilla Black tonight. Look at me. Surprise. Everybody's on the show tonight.
Now, your cotton socks.
I know. Now, tell me what you did on Sunday, Jules, because it was a big deal.
Just a tad. We did the virtual London Marathon, which basically meant that we walked 26.2 miles in a day.
Holy moly.
In about 8.5 hours, I think, if I recall, something along those lines.
I mean, that's a lot of walking.
More than I usually do, I grant you.
How was it, Luke?
Do you know what? It was amazing. It was hard work, of course it was. There was a few cuts and bruises and blisters, and it was just amazing. And it was just a camaraderie of 7 men who have been training for the last 12 weeks, all to come together, week in, week out to improve our mental health. But the whole day was just brilliant from start to finish. Even some of the attendees of Men to Talk who didn't walk the marathon were with us,
really?
in stops, giving us refreshments and encouragement. That. It was just brilliant.
That is an amazing thing. And in case people don't really understand what you do, Luke, can you just refresh everyone's memory? Because I think it's brilliant, and that's why I was quietly trying not to be biased in the audience, although I had nothing to do with the voting going, please let Luke win, please let Luke win. Did you see me jump up, Luke?
I did, yeah. My wife told me as well. I had a few tears. And then we had a bit of a cuddle afterwards, didn't we? Because it was an emotional night. Yeah, so I run a group called For Men to Talk, so it's a chance for men who are suffering with a mental health illness such as anxiety, grief and depression. We come together in physical and virtual meetings and a walking meeting once a month as well. So in total, we have about 9 meetings a month. So it gives an opportunity for those men to come along. I've just done a bit of a tally up this evening. Obviously, I'm still working. I shouldn't be this late, but I do. I've just done a tally up. We've had nearly 1,100 attendees so far this year.
You see, and this is why Luke is brilliant, that he took it upon himself to go, do you know what, there's no outlet, so I'm going to make one, because there wasn't anything. And now 1,000 men of maybe, because the reason that I thought this was so important, there are 1,000 men that maybe didn't want to talk to their own mates, and certainly not their other halves, their family or their partners, because if you're struggling a bit, maybe telling someone who was anonymous, or like Luke and everybody that's joined that group, it's kind of what's said at For Men to Talk stays at For Men to Talk, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a saving company of mine for us men. And Julian, you go on, Julian, because you found out through BBC Three Counties Radio about the group. So yeah, go on.
Yeah, I heard the radio, and sort of the moment I probably think within about 10 minutes of hearing, I contacted Luke because I felt that there wasn't a outlet for me. But I suppose also the other good thing about the marathon, and I'm sure Luke says that sort of literally probably 20 miles in or 22 miles in. I can't remember the exact details, but I'm sure Luke will tell you. Luke got a notification that our group had been shown on BBC Sport.
Really?
It was on BBC One TV.
On BBC One, I think at 2:30, and that gave us a little lift we needed to finish the last 4 or 5 miles, and that was like mind-blowing.
Oh, mate, I didn't know that. That's
so
special.
all of our group members are sitting on TV, WhatsApped it to the group, and so I got a notification, looked at it, and like Julian said, it was that boost we needed because that was tough, that last few miles.
Yeah.
So that just really brought an extra 10% that we needed. It was just amazing, absolutely amazing.
I'm thinking, and the reason I wanted to get you both on is because I thought, especially at this time of night, there'll be, like you just said, Luke, you're still working. You know, he's got a regular job. This isn't his job. He does this on top of his job. There might be men now working. Maybe you're doing a late shift like me. Maybe this is an extra shift because you've had to take extra work. Maybe you're just coming home from work and you're knackered. And maybe, and as I'm trying to find the right words, you might just want to talk. And there's nothing soft about that, is there, Luke?
No, it's not. And one of the things you probably won't know either, which we probably haven't discussed, is that we've got a WhatsApp group as well. So if you are struggling in between our meetings, there's a WhatsApp group that, with all the attendees on there, communicating. So if, I'm saying I have a bit of a down day, any ideas what I could do, blokes chip in and go, yeah, I could do this, we could do that, we could do this. So you're never alone, during them days as well.
Jules, I can't underestimate how much it has helped you because you've told me, but can you just let other people know?
I think it's the realization that men have views too, and men want to be heard.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes they don't feel that they can, but equally I'd say that if there are people listening and they want to join, that's cool. But equally, if you have a friend, maybe you haven't heard from for a while, whether it be a man or a woman, you haven't heard from your best friend, I don't know, for a few weeks, or you'll be concerned, just pick up the phone and say, hi, how you doing? So sometimes that's all someone needs is someone to listen to. You don't have to say anything. Just the fact that someone's bothered to pick up the phone and say, hi, Julian, how are you? Sometimes is all it takes. So that hasn't really answered your question, but I wasn't really quite sure how to answer it. But no,
You did it beautifully. You did it beautifully.
And I will say perhaps having you on the radio at certain times of the day, you seem to sort of do every shift known to man from morning to night and stuff, but you are certainly, for me and probably the rest of the group, you're a nice lady to have on the radio, and we need more ladies on the radio. And you are, and it's nice to have some sort of genuine people. And while I've never met you, I've spoken to you a few times. You sound very genuine, and I thank you that from the bottom of my heart.
Very welcome. That's very kind of you to say so. I just think you, and I think Luke knows, I think he's amazing. He knows that. And I just want to make sure that other people realise that there is this kind of group of men just helping other men out. And it doesn't have to be, I know, it's easy to be all masculine about it and keep stum and stuff it all down, write down, because you don't want to think about it because it's stressy and it's not very nice.
I think one of the reasons I joined the group instead of us, when I joined, it was like sort of coming, not quite to the end, but coming to the end of COVID, and sort of we were in lockdown at the time. And for me, who works and still works in the care business, I found it really hard, the amount of people that were unfortunately losing their lives due to this horrible disease. And for me, personally, I found that quite hard to cope with. Yes, I have other things, other issues, but certainly at the time that I contacted Luke, that was probably the forefront of my mind, but yet there wasn't. People were passing away, which was sad, and I still feel sad for them, but I couldn't, in the way that I would want to look after someone, I couldn't put my hand around them and say, you'll be all right, and know that they wouldn't. But it's just, I felt that I just felt that quite hard. I still do, but I'm sort of learning to sort of live with it a bit better. I don't know if I've really explained
Well, you
it.
have. Well, look, you two, thank you so much. I've got to go to the news, but please don't think I'm being disrespectful. Thank you so much.
No. And maybe sometime in the future, maybe it'd be nice, maybe sometime in the future to maybe come into the studio.
I'd love you to come in.
Your studio.
I would love you to come in.
We'll do that.
Thank you so much, and you take care of yourself.
Cheers, thank you now.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Cheers, bye.
Bye.
It's for Men to Talk. If you want to get in touch with them, then they're there for you.